Can we have an honest conversation about nail color? Because after 60, your hands have genuinely changed, and most polish advice completely ignores that. The colors that glowed on your hands at 40, they interact with your skin completely differently now. And the science behind why, that's something nobody has actually explained to us, until today. There are 7 specific shades, grounded in how light actually behaves on mature skin, that can make your hands look genuinely radiant. But here's what surprised me most. The number 1 color on this list breaks every rule you were told. And we're going to look at all of this on real hands, not 30-year-old hands. Your hands. Let's start. Here's what I've discovered after going deep on this topic. The color families that work beautifully on mature hands aren't random. They follow very specific logic, and it comes down to 3 things happening to our skin and nails after 60. Less melanin, undertone shifts, and texture changes at the nail surface. Once you understand those 3 things, every recommendation in this video will make complete sense. Before we count down, I also want to flag something. There's a prep technique, actually 3 of them, that almost doubles how good any of these colors look on mature nails. I'll share all 3 after the countdown. For every color today, you're getting the science, the real body application, and exact shopping options at 3 different price points. Budget through investment. Let's begin. Here's the thing about nail color and mature skin that changes everything. And I promise, this isn't a science lecture. It's 3 things that explain everything you've ever noticed about nail polish looking different now than it used to. After 60, our skin produces less melanin. Melanin is the pigment responsible for skin's depth and opacity, the quality that makes skin look solid, dense, and rich in color. When melanin decreases, that density changes. Here's what that actually means. Light no longer just lands on the surface of your skin. It starts to pass through. And what's underneath, the vein network, the knuckle structure, the delicate architecture that was always there, becomes more visible than it was before. So when a very dark or very cool-toned polish sits on a hand with that kind of translucency, it creates a sharp contrast against everything visible beneath. Instead of the eye going straight to the nail, it travels around the entire hand. That's not a flaw in your hand. That's optics. Picture this. 2 hands, side by side. Same woman. One hand has a deep, high-gloss burgundy. The other has a warm, satin rose. On smooth skin at 35, both look stunning. Both work. On that same woman's hands at 65, with just a little more translucency in the skin, the burgundy pulls the eye downward. The satin rose lifts it. Same woman, same hands. Completely different result. And now you know exactly why. When I first understood this, it completely changed how I thought about a friend of mine. She's worn the same warm, peachy polish for decades. We always teased her about it, called it her signature. Turns out, she had it right all along. She just didn't know the science behind why. And neither did I, until I went digging. Here's the second mechanism: undertone. Your skin's undertone, warm, cool, or neutral, doesn't disappear after 60. But it shifts, and the shift matters. Golden and yellow undertones tend to mellow with age. Pink and rosy undertones often fade. What this means in practice is that many women's natural undertone moves slightly cooler as the decades pass. And here's the consequence. A cool undertone polish on cool undertone skin creates a washed-out, slightly gray effect that no lighting, natural or otherwise, can fix. Warm, opaque shades do the opposite. They add reflected warmth back into the visual field, reducing the contrast gap between the nail and the surrounding skin. The entire hand reads as cohesive, not fragmented, not tired, cohesive. Third mechanism, and this one surprises people. It's not just color that matters, it's finish. Nail ridging is extremely common after 60. It's a natural result of nails thinning as growth plates respond to hormonal changes over time. It's not a flaw, it's physics. High-gloss finishes create a single, uniform reflection plane. On a ridged nail surface, that plane breaks at every groove, reflecting light differently from each channel. Satin and cream finishes scatter incoming light in multiple directions simultaneously. The result, optical smoothness. The ridges are still there, but they stop announcing themselves. Less melanin, undertone shifts, texture at the nail surface, 3 mechanisms. That's the science lens we're going to use for every single one of our 7 colors. Before the countdown, there's something I want to do that most videos completely skip. Let's honor what's actually there. My beautiful friends, your hands have a story. Let's read it together. Most nail color videos show very young hands. Beautiful, smooth, vein-free hands on a 30-year-old. We're not doing that today. We're going to talk about hands that look like yours. First, the beautiful freckling that comes with decades of sun and living. What we call age spots are simply areas where melanin has pooled. They're not blemishes, they're a record. Medium coverage shades work beautifully here. They create visual continuity across the hand rather than drawing the eye toward any single spot. Second, the vein network that becomes more visible as skin thins. I think of it as the map of a life well lived, now closer to the surface than it used to be. Warm undertoned polishes quiet this visually. They bring the color temperature of the nail in line with the surrounding skin, so the eye rests on the whole hand, not one part of it. Third, the texture changes that happen as nails refold and thin over time. Normal, common, completely workable. We covered the finish solution in our science section. Satin and cream formulas are the ones to reach for. Fourth, the architecture of hands that have held things, made things, built things. Knuckle texture becomes more prominent as skin loses cushioning. Nail length proportion interacts with this, and we'll flag the sweet spot for each color as we go through the list. Fifth, nails that become more flexible and delicate with the hormonal shifts that follow menopause. Formula weight matters here. Heavier gel-style formulas can stress thin nail plates. Throughout the countdown, we'll note which formulas are kinder to more delicate nails. Here's what I want you to hold on to. None of these changes mean your hands are harder to dress, harder to polish, harder to love. They mean the generic advice you've been given was never written for you. It was written for someone 20 years younger. We're changing that right now. And when we get to the prep section after the countdown, there are 3 specific techniques that work directly with each of these 5 conditions. Keep that in the back of your mind. Now, with that foundation in place, let's get into the countdown. 7 colors, each one chosen for exactly what we just talked about. Starting with number 7. Number 7. And we're starting here because this is one of the most universally wearable shades in this entire list. For a very specific reason, Dusty Mauve sits in the warm pink family, but with the saturation dialed down. That desaturation does something interesting. It mimics the natural blush of well-oxygenated skin at the nail bed. The muted quality softens the contrast at the nail edge, which is exactly where the eye tends to travel first on hands with any visible texture or vein activity. The result is a nail that reads as part of the hand, not a separate element competing for attention. If your primary concern is a subtle, polished look that works across multiple conditions, age spots, mild vein visibility, some ridging, Dusty Mauve handles all 3 without calling attention to any of them. One note: if your undertone runs quite yellow, this shade reads better over a warm peach base coat. Without it, it can go slightly ashy in cooler light. 3 options: budget, Sally Hansen Complete Salon Manicure in Rose Hip, around $7. Walmart in the US, Boots in the UK. Mid-range, OPI Tickle My Francie, about $12 at Ulta or Superdrug. Investment, Chanel Ballerina, around $32 at department stores. If you're shopping online, search Dusty Mauve Nail Polish in the US and Muted Rose Nail Varnish in the UK. Satin finish for this one. 2 thin coats, not 1 thick coat. Thin coats cure more evenly on ridged surfaces, and let the color read exactly as it should. Number 6. And this is the one I recommend for anyone who tells me they want something that looks like nothing, but better. Sheer Pink Nude creates what I'd call a clean canvas effect. By keeping the nail close in tone to the surrounding skin, but just slightly warmer and brighter, it visually elongates the fingers, without creating a hard nail edge. That absence of edge contrast is exactly what you want when knuckle texture is a consideration. The pink undertone, even at that sheer level, adds just enough warmth to prevent the gray-washed effect we talked about in our undertone section. This is particularly effective for prominent vein visibility and knuckle texture, both conditions where contrast is the thing to reduce. When the nail sits close in tone to the hand, the eye moves across the whole picture rather than stopping at individual features. It's also one of the most gentle formulas on thin nail plates. Very light application, very forgiving. Budget. Essie ballet slippers, arguably the most famous sheer pink in the world. About $10 at CVS or Superdrug. Mid-range OPI bubble bath, $12 at Ulta or Boots. Investment. Deborah Lippmann Single Ladies, around $22 online or at Nordstrom. Search Sheer Pink Nude Nails in the US, Sheer Pale Pink Varnish in the UK. Sheer to semi-sheer finish only. The opacity level is part of what makes this work. Build with 3 thin coats. You'll get the elongating effect without losing the sheerness. Number 5. Warm Berry. And this is where it gets interesting. Berry shades have a reputation for being too bold for mature hands. That reputation is wrong. It just needs a qualifier. The qualifier is undertone. A berry with blue cool undertones, think true burgundy, wine, deep plum, sits on the cool side of the spectrum. On pale, translucent skin, that blue can amplify the vein network rather than quieting it. But a warm berry, leaning toward deep rose or raspberry where the red dominates, not the blue, behaves completely differently. The warmth absorbs into the skin tone, rather than competing with what's beneath it. Rich color, no contrast clash. I want to tell you about a friend of mine. She stopped wearing berry shades in her late 50s because someone told her they were aging. She switched to nudes only, stayed there for years. Last year, she tried a warm raspberry. Essie Bordeaux, actually, sent me a photograph of her hands and wrote, "Why did I wait so long?" She hadn't been given old information. She'd been given wrong information. There's a difference. Warm berry is particularly strong for age spots. Rich color creates visual continuity across the hand, and spots become far less prominent against a deep, warm background. One honest note, on very pale skin with prominent blue-toned veins, test this in natural light before committing. The science holds, but skin undertone variance is real. A test run is wise. Budget. L'Oreal Paris in Mulberry twice. About $8, mid-range, Essie Bordeaux, $11 at Target or Boots. That's the exact shade my friend discovered. Investment, Butter London Marbs, around $22. Search, Warm Berry Nail Polish in the US. Dark Rose Nail Varnish in the UK. Cream finish for this one, 2 coats. If your nails are significantly ridged, a ridge-filling base coat underneath will make this sing. We'll cover that in the prep section. We're at the halfway point now. 4 more colors to go, including the one that breaks every rule. But first, I want a moment with you, my beautiful friends. Let's pause here for a moment. If you've been watching this and thinking, but I was told not to wear that, that's exactly what we're working through together. Every recommendation in this countdown is backed by the science we covered at the start. It's not opinion, it's optics. These aren't rules, they're tools. The most important thing is that you understand the why, so you can look at any color and choose with your own eyes, your own preferences, and your own confidence. Which of these first 3 colors felt like a yes for you? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one, and I'd genuinely love to know what's resonating. And the one I haven't shown you yet, the rule breaker, is still coming. You're going to want to be here for it. Let's keep going. 4, 3, 2, and then the one that surprised me most, color 4. And this is where the countdown starts getting more surprising. Warm terracotta and peach coral shades sit at the warmest end of the color spectrum. They carry high concentrations of yellow and red pigment, the two warmest pigment families that exist. What that does on mature, translucent skin is something the cooler colors simply can't do. It raises the overall color temperature of the entire hand. The nail stops contrasting against the hand, it harmonizes with it. The whole hand reads warmer, more alive. This is one of the strongest performers across the full range of the conditions we covered. For visible veins, the warm temperature override quiets them significantly. For age spots, peach and terracotta echo the warm tones already present in the spots themselves, creating continuity rather than contrast. For knuckle texture, the richness of the pigment draws the eye directly to the nail, rather than letting attention scatter across the hand. For nail ridging, cream and satin finishes in this color family smooth beautifully. It's a rare shade that genuinely handles 4 conditions at once. Budget: Revlon Color Stay in Peach Flip, around $8 at Walgreens, Walmart, and Boots. Mid-range, OPI coming in hot, about $12 at Ulta and Superdrug. Investment: Chanel Riviera, approximately $32 at department stores. Search: Warm Peach Coral Nails in the US. Peach Coral Nail Varnish in the UK. Cream to satin finish, both work well in this family. Avoid high gloss, specifically with terracotta shades. It can intensify ridge appearance rather than smooth it. 2 coats, and if you want to amplify the effect, a warm toned base coat underneath pushes the undertone benefit even further. Number 3. And before I tell you what this one is, I want to remind you that number 1 is almost here. We are one color away from the rule breaker. This is color 3, and it already does something none of the others have done. Imagine what number 1 does. Champagne and warm gold shimmer shades work through a completely different mechanism than everything we've covered so far. Standard polishes, cream, satin, sheer, all function by laying color flat across the nail surface. Shimmer polishes work differently. They contain micro-sized reflective particles, distributed throughout the formula. When light hits the nail, those particles scatter it in hundreds of directions simultaneously. Instead of one reflection plane that breaks at each groove, you get thousands of tiny light points that together read as a single smooth, luminous surface. That is the mechanism that optically smooths nail ridging. Not by hiding it, by working with light. This is the specific recommendation for significant nail ridging and thin nail plates. The shimmer is doing the optical heavy lifting. For age spots and vein visibility, the warm gold base tone harmonizes well. One important distinction: micro shimmer only. Chunky glitter or large particle shimmer formulas have particles big enough to create the opposite effect, breaking light in ways that emphasize rather than smooth texture. You're looking for shimmer that reads as inner glow, not confetti. Budget: China Glaze Champagne Kisses, about $8 at beauty supply stores and online. Mid-range, Essie Penny Talk, $12 at Target and Boots. Investment: NARS Rated X, approximately $25 at Sephora and Harvey Nichols. Search: Champagne Shimmer Nail Polish in the US, Champagne Shimmer Varnish in the UK. Add the word micro to either search to filter away the chunky glitter options. The shimmer is the finish, no additional top coat choice needed. 2 very thin coats. Thin coats keep the particles flat, which maximizes the light scattering effect. A thick single coat pools the particles. 2 thin beats 1 thick every time. Number 2. Warm Caramel. This is the one I call the universal yes. Warm caramel and soft tan nudes sit in the exact same color temperature range as mature skin itself, particularly from medium to deeper skin tones, but effective across the full range. Here's what that creates: the nail and the surrounding hand, rid as part of the same tonal family. The eye doesn't register contrast at all. Instead, it takes in the entire hand as one cohesive picture: polished, groomed, intentional. There's an optical phenomenon behind this, called simultaneous contrast. Adjacent colors make each other look more different than they are. Warm caramel minimizes that effect, quieting the contrast noise from spots, veins, or texture, rather than adding to it. Warm caramel is genuinely the most universally flattering shade in this entire countdown. It works across all 5 conditions we talked about: spots, veins, ridging, knuckle texture, thin nails, without requiring any specific condition to be present. If you're watching this feeling a little uncertain about where to start here. This is the safe yes that isn't really safe at all. It's a sophisticated optical choice, backed by solid science. Budget, Sally Hansen Complete Salon Manicure in Café au Lait. Around $8 at Walmart and Boots. Mid-range, OPI Pale to the Chief. $12 at Ulta and Superdrug. Investment, Chanel Beige Poudre. Approximately $32 at department stores. Search, Warm Caramel Nude Nails in the US. Caramel Nude Nail Varnish in the UK. Cream Finish, 3 thin coats for full opacity, 2 for a softer, more sheer result. Both look completely intentional. Neither looks unfinished. And now, number 1. The rule breaker I've been promising since the very beginning. You're going to want to hear this. Number 1. From the very beginning of this video, I told you the number 1 color breaks every rule. You were told about nail color after 60. Here's what that actually means: warm rust and deep terracotta. These are among the shades most commonly warned against. For mature hands, too bold, too young, too much. Here's what the science that we've covered together says instead. Rust and terracotta sit at the absolute warmest end of the red-orange spectrum. Their pigment density is exceptionally high, which means maximum opacity and maximum warmth delivered to the visual field. On translucent, melanin-reduced skin, that warmth doesn't fight the hand, it transforms it. The visual temperature of the entire hand rises to meet the color. Cool undertones, overridden, vein contrast, minimized more completely than any other color on this list. And the boldness that was supposed to be the problem becomes exactly what works, a focal point. One intentional, beautiful, confident focal point. For visible veins, the color temperature override here is the most powerful of all 7. For age spots, rust and terracotta, echo and honor those warm tones rather than sitting in contrast to them. For nail ridging, cream formula, not gloss, beautifully smooth. For thin nails, lighter formulas exist in this family. We'll note that in the product options. Budget, sinful colors terrified or NYX in rust. $5 to $8 at CVS and Boots. Mid-range, OPI Cajun Shrimp. $12 at Ulta and Superdrug. Investment, Tom Ford Beauty Flame. Around $38 at Nordstrom and Selfridges. Search, Rust Terracotta Nail Polish in the US. Rust Nail Varnish in the UK. Cream Finish, 2 coats. Let the color do everything. This is the color the rules said to avoid. The science says otherwise. And my beautiful friends, you deserve to know the difference. Wear it with everything you've got. Now, I promised you something at the very beginning of this video. A prep step that almost doubles how good any of these colors looks. Let's go there now. Bonus time. 3 prep techniques. Each one takes under 5 minutes, and each one works directly with the conditions we named at the start of this video. On ridged nails, standard polish sits in each groove and dries unevenly, telegraphing every line on the surface. A ridge-filling base coat is formulated differently. It has a thicker, self-leveling consistency that fills those grooves before any color goes on top. What you're creating is a smooth optical surface. One coat of this changes how every single color in our countdown performs. Budget, OPI Natural Nail Base Coat. About $10 at Ulta and Superdrug. Mid-range, Essie Smoothie Base Coat. $12. Investment, Dior Nail Glow. $30 at department stores. 1 coat only. Let it dry completely. Full dry, not mostly dry. That single step is the difference between the color you see in the bottle and the color you see on your nail. Dry, pulled-back cuticles make even perfect polish look unkempt. Hydrated, smooth cuticles frame the nail. They're the border that separates painted nails from beautiful hands. Any cuticle oil with jojoba or vitamin E. Drugstore versions work perfectly. This doesn't need to be expensive. CND Solar Oil is a widely available mid-range option. Apply at least 30 minutes before you polish. After a warm water soak, gently push cuticles back. Never cut them unless a professional does it. Apply the oil, massage it in, and wait. One more benefit. The hydration softens the nail plate slightly, which matters specifically for thin, brittle nails. Nail length interacts with hand proportion after 60 in a very specific way that most advice completely ignores. Very short nails, below the fingertip, can look unfinished and actually shorten finger appearance. Very long nails extend the visual line of the hand, which on hands with prominent veins, creates a runway for the eye to travel down rather than across. One nail width beyond the fingertip. That is the sweet spot. Enough length to create a frame for the color. Not enough to work against you. Glass nail file. Much gentler on thin nail plates than traditional emery boards. File in one direction only. Sawing back and forth frays the nail edge, and that fraying is more visible on thinner post-60 nails. That prep step I mentioned at the very beginning of this video, you just got all three of them. Apply any color from our countdown on top of this foundation, and you're going to see a real difference. 7 colors, 3 prep techniques, and the science behind all of it. My beautiful friends, this is what it all comes down to. Your hands, the colors they've earned, and the science that finally explains why. 7 colors, each one grounded in how mature hands actually interact with light, each one with real options at every budget, and each one chosen for hands that look like yours. We covered why color behaves differently on our skin now. We went through the rule breaker that no one told us we could wear. And you have the prep foundation to make any of these work, starting today. Your hands carry the story of everything you've built and held and created. You deserve colors that honor that, not hide it, not chase something you were perfectly fine leaving behind. Honor it. If there's one thing this video made undeniably clear, nail color advice for women over 60 has been wildly underserving us. In my next video, we're going into skincare, specifically the ingredients that actually do something for skin after 60, and the ones that are quietly wasting your money. You'll walk away with a simplified routine and the science to know exactly why it works. Click right here to watch it next. And if one color from today surprised you, drop it in the comments. I'd genuinely love to know which one.